दोस्तों, मैं रत्नभूषण, फ्रेंड, मोटिवेटर एंड गाइड टू आईएएस एस्पिरेंट, इंटरनेशनल मोटिवेशनल स्पीकर, लीडरशिप ट्रेनर, सीईओ, कोच, पॉलिटिकल स्ट्रेटजिस्ट एंड पॉलिसी एडवाइजर. Welcome to ASGIS. ASGIS, believe in quality, commitment and success. We are discussing about the General Studies Mains Paper 1998, question number 1. This is the part 8. The question is, briefly state the stages through which the present position of directive principle vis-a-vis the fundamental rights has emerged. Directive principles vis-a-vis the fundamental rights has emerged. The answer is, from the time of drafting Indian Constitution, Part 3, containing the fundamental rights, is made enforceable and justiciable even against the state itself, and a limit over legislature is created by expressly declaring that any act or legislation having effect of violating, aggreging the fundamental rights shall be void and ultra vires of the Constitution in Article 13. On the other hand, by Article 37, it is made clear that through directive principle of state policy, that is DPSP, are fundamentally important in the governance of the country. They are not justiciable in any court of law. But as it is for the government to give effect the directive principles contained in the Part 4, it has always been alleged that sometimes some of the fundamental rights create obstacle in such implementation. Attempts of the government to throw away the yoke of limitation put upon amending the power of fundamental rights through 24th and 42nd Constitutional Amendment Acts have been declared void, limiting that power to the extent that it can violate the basic structure of the Constitution. Parliament gave to Article 39B and C overriding effects over the fundamental rights contained in Article 14 and 19, which the court approved, but not the 42nd Amendment provision, which gave primacy to all directive principles over fundamental rights. As the Supreme Court, declaring such provision ultra vires and without effect in the case of Minerva Mill 1980, has made it clear in some decision that both the fundamental rights and the directive principle should be given harmonious construction and should interpreted in such a way that no confrontations arise among them. Last position seems to have overall view is in favor of the harmonious construction to both, without giving more importance to any, retaining their full importance in their own fields. The court has created really appreciable interpretation and thus position. The next question is, explain the concept of prime ministerial government and the accounts for its decline in recent times in India. Two forms of government we generally know are: number 1, presidential government. 2, parliamentary government. The concept of prime minister government is a derived form of parliamentary form of government. In this system, the president is nominal head of the state and the real executive powers are vested in the prime minister. Along with the council of ministers, he exercises all powers of the government. In a strong prime ministerial government, even importance of the council of ministers is very much limited. The prime minister influences the decision of other ministers. Number 1, factors responsible for the prime ministerial government in India. Single party getting absolute majority in both houses of parliament. 2, impressive and influential towering personality in the prime minister, for example, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, Mrs. Indira Gandhi, Lal Bahadur Shastri, Rajiv Gandhi, etc. Constitutional provision making his position a key post. Factors responsible for its decline in recent years. No party is getting absolute majority of the center and they have to ally with other parties to form government. This weakness the position of the prime minister. He does not dominate the council of ministers, and so the ministers work independently, however policy may be followed. Emergence of various regional parties and their position getting stronger day by day effectively was on both houses against the government and dilutes influence of the prime ministerial concept. Unstable government do not allow the prime minister to get stronger position. 44th Amendment Act of Constitution 44th Amendment of the Constitution has made it mandatory for the Prime Minister to get advice of the Council of Ministers in writing before advising the President for the proclamation of emergency. Before this amendment, emergency could be proclaimed only on the advice of the Prime Minister. This power was grossly missed by Mrs. Indira Gandhi. These are the factors responsible for the decline of prime ministerial government in India.